So I guess this is my new office. This is where I'm going to be writing and doing videos until I get the office or the studio where I'm going to make all my videos where I want it to be. But there's so many things going on in the world today that it could depress people. It could concern people. It could put people in fear, people in depression, people in a lower vibration than they want to be. And um, where I'm going spiritually is in a direction to uplift people, to uplift the spirit, uplift society, the world, and get to see people things and people in a different light. And hopefully, um, the connections that I have with certain people or people will change their mind frame in a way where it's positive and it's putting out good vibes and energy and positive things, because when you think of negative things, negativity will, you're attracting that thing to you. um you know, I'm getting into my spiritual self, but I think about the law of attraction. I think of vibrations. I think of things that you have in your spirit and what you have in the back of your mind and what you're feeding into yourself and your soul, because it's an input. It's information being inputted in you from society, from the news, from social media, from your friends, from your family, from your own self, from your own thoughts, and people that you associate with every day. There's energies, okay? There's spirits. There are forces that could change and influence your thoughts um, to certain things. And I want to stay on the positive note. I always think things are going to work out for the good. I always think that things can be, solutions to problems can be worked out in a peaceful manner. You know, what is it? The benevolence of the Bible. Like, there's so many places in that I feel like I belong. I'm a peacemaker. You know, I don't like chaos. I don't like friction. I don't like, it's things that bother me in my spirit that I just don't like. I don't know if I can change it, but I don't think it's right. Like gang fights, or somebody getting beat up in the street, or somebody just being treated really, really wrong, just bad. I don't like that kind of stuff. It used to anger me and make me be like, you know what, and just cut a person off, or you know, ignore them. Sometimes it got to the point, my relationship, my marriage, where I didn't really notice certain things were happening underneath the scene. So this is how I feel like we are in the world today. There's so many things happening underneath the scene. What we see in front of us is happening, but there's so much more going on in a world that we're not even paying attention to. And it starts with your mind, body, and spirit. It's your connection to the source, to God, to the higher power. And that speaks only truth. Only truth. But the only way to get to that truth is to dig into yourself and find that truth in your connection to that higher power. Because we all have a part to play. We all have a destiny, a mission, a purpose. We all do. And when we don't find those missions and those purposes and stuff, is where we're out of line and things get out of sync and out of balance. And that's everywhere. Everything is not going to be perfect, but we have to find our place and where we're our part in it, and what we can do to possibly add to or do to or say to raise the vibration to make sure that the outcome is a good outcome for everyone involved, all involved, and that's in every single situation, relationships, this government, the coronavirus, everything is, it's all connected. And what we got to understand is that we things happen in your life where it triggers, so it can cause a reaction. And you hear the saying, is not what you do, is how you do it, is not what you say, is how you say it. That can be true, but it is what you say. It is what you do. It is. It's all connected. It's not just one or the other. It has to be all connected. So what you say and what you do is all supposed to be going in the same direction. Let me give you an example. This thing that has been going on with the police and this murder, apparently, that has happened. Now, I've heard, I don't, let me say this, that because my spirit knows that there are certain things that brings my vibration down, brings my spirit down, keeps me in a spot, I stay away from those things. And now that I have healed in so many areas, I am now able to not stay away from those things, but face those things and dispose of them or put them in their proper place so that it is not affecting me. And now that I faced it, it will no longer affect me because I know where it goes. And that's how it goes. And that's how what I mean. And I know I talk in circles and stuff, but people that are on my vibe knows exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just get down to this police brutality, this murder that has occurred. And I'm going to be so real with you. I have to look in news and on the papers and everything to get the name of the gentleman that was murdered by this police officer and the name of the police officer who murdered him and the city that they were in and all that the details, because I don't know those things. So I don't want to speak on them if I don't know them, but I get the gist of what's going on. And the reason why I don't want to, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to speak on it because apparently it was a murder. Apparently it's a white cop, black individual in this. Apparently it was excessive and unnecessary, and it resulted in a death. We have heard this before, and sadly, we may hear it again. Unfortunately and sadly. Okay? So we need to do something about it where this is not. Let me tell you what the solution to all this is. Like I'm some expert in everything, right? But the solution to pretty much everything is love. It is. If this police officer would love another individual, color, whatever, just a person, just love the person, you wouldn't find it necessary to do all that you did to result in this man's death. Love would have never ever happened. It would have never happened. Period. Love is the solution to this coronavirus. And what I mean by that is if you can't physically love, touch a person, then send the atmosphere, send the vibration, send the wishes and the prayers of love to people, of love to life, to the families that have been affected and have lost loved ones in this. Send love to them. Send love to the universe, that you know that God is love and He is the ruler of all of this. Connect to Him and He'll connect to us. Draw closer to Thee and He'll draw closer to us and give us the solutions that we need to get this mess out of control. But if God is love, we need to love one another. We need to love one another, regardless of race, creed, sexual, whatever preference, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. And when we learn to do those things, we can understand each other on a different level. We don't have to agree with everyone. We're not going to. It wouldn't even be possible. It shouldn't be, because we have to bounce ideas and vibrations and creativity off of each other and love off each other and understand each other. But the key and the dynamic and the one soul thing that connects us all is love. When this happens, and I know it's a painful thing, it's painful, it's unjust, it's, you just want like complete and total and right now justice for this. Understandable. The outrage that wants to pour out, but when you put that atmosphere in the sky, that is what's going to come back. Pray for the families, but don't pray for them like, oh, this is terrible. No. May God uplift your heart. May God strengthen you. May God keep you and make you stronger. May God give you wisdom and cover you with love and peace and assurance that everything is going to work out for the good. Okay? And unfortunately, this man may be a martyr or is a martyr for something to uprise, so somebody to open their eyes, for people to say, what is going on? And you hear more about it today because we have more cameras today. People can record it off of their phone. Who was walking around with just cameras everywhere before? It was known, it was hidden, it was put back in the back burner, it was covered up, it was all kinds of stuff was being done. How many has this happened to and nobody knows about it? You're knowing about it more now because there's more cameras. There's more people that can just record at the drop of a dime now. So it's being more aware. But what is that doing? It could raise more fear. And fear is not what we're supposed to be putting out here. And we're strong people, all of us. And if we work together and love each other, we can find solutions to these things. Most of the solutions would disappear if we did just that. But in the meantime, uh, the solutions to stuff like what caused or what was the reason for this corona thing, not my field. It's not my field. I can't speculate. We don't know what's going on. I have my own opinions. Like, in my mind, soon as you see an outbreak in another country, all ships, all planes, all everything is shut down. The border is right now built. We don't do this. Something's going on over there. And we're going to keep us over here till y'all figure that out. But when you allow things to open up or leave gateways open, your heart, your spirit, your mind, your body, for things to invade your space, expect to have some type of repercussions from it. Guard. Put your full armor on. Guard yourself, your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, your people. Then you can learn to guard others. Teach them how to guard others. Teach them how to love, 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 love others. Yourself, pour out to others. Others will spread to others. Positive, good vibes, positive thoughts. So the thought shouldn't be woe is them. It should be God bless them. God uplift them. Keep them. Give them peace, love, justice. Justice. Have hope and justice is going to be served in this. Have hope that the right thing will happen with this. I know because of the news, because it has happened, because it is in some realities that justice it doesn't get served, even though it's very clear and plain that this is some BS and it should not be happening. But we see it. That's allowed out too, because those are the things that are allowed to be fed into our brain and our system, and to do that weakening, to do that fear-based thing, to do that thing, to bring the vibrations down and think, you know what, they're going to get off and they're going to do this and they getting off and they ain't going to do nothing about it. It's going to cover it up. You know, you think and you put that thing out there, that's what's going to happen. But if you think justice is going to be served, this is not for nothing. It's not. It's to raise awareness, and it's so sad that this could happen in a time where we're trying to breathe around here, man. We're trying to breathe our own air, and you're choking off the air of a man that you don't even need to be doing that for. That is, if I sit here long enough on this phone for about 5 minutes in silence, I could probably come up with the most phenomenal spiritual connection to the fact that I just said that. We're trying to breathe air, clean air that's not infected with coronavirus out here. And you choked off the air, the little clean air that he possibly could get. That's just, God bless. God bless his family. God bless his family. And this will be, justice will be served on this. It will be. You know, people are waking up. We're waking up. People are waking up. We're waking up to what's really going on. And what's done in the dark will come to light. It will. It can't be hidden forever. It won't be, especially if it's some stuff that you know is just not righteous. It's not right. So it will come to light, and this is what all this is. And now we have to be aware, and we also have to be aware of our own connections and our own spirit and our own power, and what we really can do. Because we've been downplayed about this. Do you know the God we serve? Our mind has been put down to this. And this little bit that has been put down to is infused in a bunch of fear and insecurities and unjust things that will make us think those ways. God didn't give us a brain that is only used 10% of it. He didn't give us a brain to use, you know, this, how big and enormous and magnified, and we will have never have the capacity to know God. Never. But the power that we can tap into beyond the 10% of our brain we're supposed to be already just using is enormous. And we can change things, literally change things from our thoughts and from in our heads, whether we see it or not. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. So we don't see it because of what they're pouring into our heads in the news and social media and things you hear from friends that's not so positive. So we don't see it. But where is your heart? Where is your faith? What do you really think? Who do you really think is in control of everything and can change this thing? But who did he give the power to be able to actually change it? Yeah, let's work it. Let's work it. And let's do what we're supposed to do. Raise your vibrations. Know that this is going to be all right. This too shall pass, but it's not going to be swept under the rug. Got to dig up in there. You got to dig up in there. And justice will be served. I'm speaking that into existence. Justice will be served. And that's all I'm gonna say on this. And with the people that are watching this or can connect to this, I pray. Do something. Do something. Do anything. If you don't do nothing but say, justice will be served with a positive attitude and know that it will be served. Everything that's happening here, things are going to be popping out like left and right. Left and right. I would think that stuff like this would be like, yo, that's the last thing on earth that we're going to have to deal with right now. We all are over here trying to breathe clean air and not catch the Rona. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that like that stuff would subside because ain't nobody thinking about that. We're thinking about social distancing. Ain't nobody thinking about pressing on nobody's neck until they can't breathe no more. But apparently somebody is. And it's crazy. I have a white police officer that comes in all the time in my job. And we're talking. And he gave me a story the other day. And he was like, it's crazy because, you know, he had to pull his gun out on a black guy. And all those thoughts ran through his head. He said, oh my gosh, black guy, white cop. But clearly the guy had a gun in his hand. The black guy had a gun in his hand. And when the cop said, put your hands up, the guy put his hands up with the gun still looped around his fingers. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I said, put your hands up and put his hands up, but the gun is still in his hand, looped around his daggone finger. Like, what the world? And then I have to sit there and be like, what would I do in that position? And then you think about the whole dynamics. White guy, black cop, what do you do? And in that case, excuse me, man, so you have to look at it on both sides of the fence. That side of that fence of that cop who did what he did, ain't no other side of that fence. He was on some other stuff. And I don't know what he was going through personally at home or what, but I always think that there got to be something else going on in your head to think that stuff like this is okay. How do the position you in, all the stuff that's been going on in the news with police brutality and stuff like that, how is this okay? It's and that's what makes people so mad, because it's like, it's not, and it should be clear and very, very, very clear that this ain't cool. What part of, when do you stop? When does this stop? When do you stop? And you're trained. These are trained. You're trained for this kind of stuff. Is this how we training you? And y'all ain't telling us? Or is this what you telling us? Or is this what you telling us? That's an epiphany. That's an epiphany. Is this what they're training you? How is they training you? Because somebody got the rules mixed up here. So is that the light that's being shined? That the training may not be very ethical? It's a lot of awareness, a lot of light bulbs going off in this world right now. Pay attention. Just wake up. But keep that vibration up, because we can change it. Where the people can change it. And that's where this world is going to. Where it's not going to be built on the system the way it's been built. Because a lot of these systems are being broken all the way down. That should be very evident. And it's going to be hard for them to try to get back up, if they can get back up at all. It's not designed to do that. It's designed to go a different route, for you to understand who you are and the power that we have to change the things that are going on in this world that is not just, it's not righteous. So whatever you can do to do that, I pray that you do it. If it's nothing but going to work and talking to someone, or if you're not working right now, talking to someone on the phone to raise their consciousness, their awareness of what really is happening around here. If nothing else, just impart some love. And that alone is sourced to God. And that alone will give people their own what we can do, your own individual what you can do to help. Thank you for watching. I pray this touches everybody or anyone that watches it. I pray it touches your heart. I hope it sparks a flame, give you some type of inspiration. I was just watching a video, Liam Jenkins on Philly Sports Network. What was this? I always get these names mixed up. Look on my page. Man, that's my dude though. But and I'll get it right, but I was more into the content that he was talking about. And it was such a great video on the awareness of Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, and how they stood up in the media and talked about the situation as well. And I know we're Eagle fans, so we all kind of stick together in our bias. But that is, and I haven't read what Zach Ertz or Carson Wentz has put out there, but I'm pretty sure it's phenomenal. But from his video alone, it makes me want to look at them both. Number one, and two, do anything I can do to help raise awareness of what's going on. If you have any type of it, everybody does. You got a mouth, right? Everybody has a mouth. Everybody has a mouth, and fear should not be something. We have to face these things. They say face your fears. Face your fears. Face whatever adversity it is in order to conquer it. Running away from it, staying away from it is not going to do it. Keeping your mouth shut and saying, it ain't my business. This is not my business. This is some man that I don't even know. But apparently this is a spirit thing, a connection thing, a heart thing. Don't do that. What? No, we ain't doing this. And we're tired of it. And I'm not talking about just black people. White people are tired of it too. The ones that got their heart in the right spot, they're sick of it too. Like everybody is. And it ain't gotta be just white. We're done. We're done. And this is the perfect time for people to understand the power that we have within and what we can do to change this world around for a better place for all of us to live in. And I hope we can do that. That's what I pray.